Welcome again, everybody, to this edition of this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, with my brothers Damon and Jaquari Armstrong. We welcome you.
What's
We
up,
have
folks?
special guest tonight, Stacey Chauncey, friend of the show, all around great guy, and Dion Brooks will be joining us momentarily. Um, welcome everybody. Uh, Jaquari, how you doing today, my guy?
I'm good, man. No complaints. Everything fell into place as it should have. I'm at it.
Okay. Damon, how are you today, sir?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I had a great day today, man. Feeling good. I'm above ground. I got no complaints, brother.
10-4. Mr. Chauncey, how you doing today, sir?
On the road again. All is well, baby. We freestyle Friday, okay? Anything goes. We're gonna have a great evening. I'm good.
No doubt, no doubt. Just to let everybody know that Stacey is en route from Chicago back to Michigan, our home. Stacey is our cousin, but we grew up as brothers. Going home for Mother's Day to go see Auntie. Much love to your Auntie.
Love you, auntie.
Love you.
And happy Mother's Day to all those beautiful
Happy
women
Mother's
in
Day.
our lives. And you're not in our lives, happy Mother's Day because you deserve it. Especially if you're great mothers, especially if you're potentially great mothers, and mothers who are on the way to be great mothers. How about that? Let me do a little bit of house cleaning that before we get started. Listen, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. And basically, what we do is we have conversations with great human beings about their lives and what, getting their perspectives on what's going on and what they think about it. And I tell you what, we're batting 1,000 when it comes to great guests. So we're going to continue to do this thing, okay? We usually have 3 segments, just to do the pacing. I usually take over the first one. It's called Strong Big Dog's Perspective. And what I want to talk about today is what do you feel your responsibility is to yourself and to your family. So basically what that means and what I'm getting at is a lot of times we take on a lot of responsibility for our family. Right? Now, I'm not talking about our children. I'm talking about the grown folks. On how sometimes we end up taking care of grown people and we end up misunderstanding grown people. They end up misunderstanding us. And the thing about it is,
Boo boo.
we never.
Let me
Welcome, Dion.
Hey, we can hear you, bro.
No, I got him. But what we end up doing is we taking it personal. We take it personal when they don't understand where we're coming from. So how I learned how to adapt to that is, if I do something for someone, family, friend, my children, it's because I do it for me. You feel me? I do it for me. This is how I understand what my role in my community is. Whatever, if I overextend myself, is because I want to. Not because I want to take credit for it, not because there's something going on and I want people to look at me a certain way. No, what I want to do is do the best for me. Now, if that don't work for you, that's cool. I'm not judging you. I'm not going into, all the other things, right? It's just more or less trying to figure it out. And, like I said, that just crossed my heart. You make sense of it if you want to. But that's Big Dog's perspective today. So if I help your ass, it's because I want to. Not because I'm obligated. Not because You know, you want me to be the patriarch of the family. It's just how I'm built. That's my perspective. Welcome, Dion. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How y'all guys?
We good. We
How
good,
you
man.
doing, man?
What's
Good.
up,
What up,
fellas?
boy? What up? What up?
What's happening?
What's
Can
going
I
on?
say something real quick, Key? Did I not call the game yesterday, my friend? Thank you very much.
Hey, Dion. Did
Yes,
you
sir.
did you hear me? You heard what I said. I said
Um,
I
mhm.
said now let me this refresh your memory. I said
Okay.
if they go seven, that Phoenix would win. That's exactly what I said.
hmm
I
I
said
said
if
it
they
was
go
over
seven.
last night.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I, s- I said it
Yeah,
was over last night.
I respect
And
it.
I said, you trust James?
Oh, you're talking about the
I
Philly game.
no, I said the Denver game was over last night. I said it was
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
Me, me and Fluke, we talked about it. I said them boys did not have enough juice. They got no bench. It was over. And then I said, y'all trust James Harden? I don't trust James Harden. That series over with. It's done.
Hey, you might be correct, but
Last night, did they?
Huh?
Did Denver
I
clinch last
know.
night?
Yeah.
Denver
yeah,
won. Yeah, they won the series. Yes.
yeah, but look,
Uh,
in the Philly game, now, you understand that Philadelphia gave that game away because they did not convert. The many times that they played great defense, they did not score at all. And then Boston got hot, meaning Jason Tate did his thing. Jason
Tate,
Tate
man, Tate in the fourth quarter. How many points did Tate have, man, before the fourth quarter?
close to
He.
zero.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was close to zero. He got hot in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, yeah.
What was Big Game James?
That's culture, man.
No, no, because they was like, dude, that's hard. That ain't coaching. That's hard. That's
Hey,
who
hey,
wanted more.
Dion, let me tell you something, man.
If you don't,
If you ain't scoring through three quarters, man, you know what I'm saying? You ain't finna get hot unless it's lack of defense, man. You know what I'm saying?
first,
He wasn't even in the rhythm of the game, man.
look, I'm gonna tell you what's so funny about it. Y'all sitting here discussing it, and y'all act like y'all ain't watching the NBA. Look, first and foremost, the NBA go back and forth, especially these times when these guys don't. And this is no knock on them, but the cats these days they don't have defensive intensity. The only defensive intensity you seeing is one guy, Anthony Davis, that makes a difference.
Well, that here a whole nother story, brother.
You know,
Yeah,
look,
but
look but hold on, yeah.
yeah,
You can
I just want my flowers, brother. That's all.
first of all, I'm gonna give you the flowers, but how you gonna show up late and then change the whole format of shit, man? Stop playing.
Sorry about that, bro. Sorry about that, brother.
No,
I
I'm just
came on
messing.
late. I just had to brag a little bit.
No, I'm just
No.
messing with you. Yeah, I know you. I believe you.
Hey,
And
Hold on. And Denver, they praying. They praying for LA tonight. They
oh, there you
praying.
go. There you
They
go.
they, they do
Stop
not want to play Golden
it.
State. They do
Dion,
not want to
Dion,
play
stop,
Golden State.
stop, stop it.
Okay. Okay, here we go again.
Okay, but look, let's just do this. We'll say that for later because
Yeah.
what I want to do is let everybody know that the two guests we have tonight are very special individuals. They're special individuals because they excel in a field that, and this is their words, that they seem to be one of one in sometimes, every once in a while, where each of them have at least 30 years of experience in sales. Both of them have their own individual franchises. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that means a lot. This is
Yep.
why we felt it was important that these men came on today. Just to give us a little bit, and we'll mix it up a little bit, but we need to hear you guys' story. You know what I'm saying? Now I want you guys to understand, folks out there that's watching, that's going to watch in the future, that Stacey is traveling, and he's traveling the back roads of Michigan, right? So he's going to be going in and out, but we're going to be patient enough to listen to his story. You feel me? So what we'll do is we'll start with you, Dion.
Yes, sir.
And what we'd like you to do, just talk about yourself. Talk about who you are.
Okay.
In a nutshell. And remember, what did we say? And you brought it up, Dion. What are the parameters?
Yes.
So the parameters, we know the number, what the parameter is. So I tell you what, we're going to speak it out loud. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, and 3 minutes is a long time. Just to give us the basis, and then we're going to go into it. All right?
Okay. Sure. Absolutely. Hey, everybody. Just give a little brief about myself. I'm Dion Brooks. I'm from the East. I'm born and raised from the east side of Detroit. Kind of a tough area that I grew up in as a child. I did have two hardworking individual parents. I grew up with a 2-family household, income in the house. So I grew up with a mom and dad. I was blessed. My mother worked for the hospital system. She was a nurse, so she worked for 40 years. And my dad worked for the city of Detroit. He worked for 30 years. So I had a structure coming up as a kid. Well, I had two tough parents, so they kind of guided me and showed me the way how to become a successful individual. But just to piggyback off of that a little bit, actually my journey came into effect. Of course, graduated from high school, was blessed to do that, walk across the stage. I didn't go to college. So I tell everybody every day of the week, you just got to wait and be right on time where your blessing is called. So actually me getting into sales, I started in retail sales. I did for about 3 or 4 years. In my retail sale, I worked at a store called Backrack. It was a upscale men's clothing store where we wore suits to work every single day, ties. So the way my journey of sales came across was a young man came into my store and he had just got off the plane. He was looking for a suit. And he, at the time, didn't have any, he was coming from Florida. So he's coming to the Michigan winters without a coat on. So he came in, walked in the door, and he asked me, do y'all guys have trench coats? So we kind of talked about it a little bit. And, excuse me, we kind of talked about it a little bit. So I directed him over to the coats. And we started talking about the sales opportunity the company he was working for. So he asked me and a few other guys, are you guys making $800 a week? I said $800 a week. I'm like, anybody making $800 a week a year? So he told us about this sales opportunity. And long story short, he gave me a card. He walked out the door. All my colleagues at the time, they talked about each other. They was talking about him. And they was like, he broke. He don't got no money. Da-da-da. Case closed. Moved on. I talked about him as well. So we moved on. And
I'm about to say that you throw some shade too.
I did. I threw him some shade. But this was the kicker though. 2 days later, actually it was an Easter holiday. And at that Easter holiday, me and my friend, we was in line at a restaurant about to eat. It was kind of really warm that day. And the gentleman that I sold the coat that he put in the layaway, the coat I sold to, he drove in with a drop top Lexus. I think it was like a 300 series. It was a drop top. He had a pretty young lady in the car, and he remembered me. He was like, "Hey, young man, remember me?" And I was like, "Yeah." So my friend behind me, he was like, "Who was that guy?" I said, "Man, this guy came to my shop. He had no money. Da 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 da." He was like, "Look like." So he handed me the card. He's like, "Man, you got to call me." So I was like, "Okay." So me and my friend talked about it over dinner, and we kind of just brushed it off a little bit. I was like, "I'll probably go see him." Later that evening, me and my friend went to a nightclub. I'm getting a drink at the bar. Guess who I run into? Same gentleman.
Okay.
Same gentleman. He pulled me over and he said to me, I said, "Dude, tell me about this opportunity." And me and him sat down. We talked about the opportunity, and the rest is history. I'll let Stacey take from there before I go into my opportunity. But yeah, that's a strong, powerful story. That's how I got into the industry. I've been in for almost 30 years now.
No doubt. Hey, Dion, check the chat for me, man.
Okay.
Stace, it's on you. What you gonna do?
Can you hear me okay?
You try that again.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, man, but
All right,
it's
so
kind of
my
choppy.
other, my other communication popped off. So I'm gonna turn the camera off and talk to you. So real quick, I was blessed to stumble into this industry. I was working in the field of pharmaceutical sales. Uh, I got myself in debt by $30,000 or so. Needed some money to come in. Ran into a guy by the name of Tim James. He offered me an opportunity to go door to door. I thought door to door was beneath me. Went into the office one day, seen about 15, 20 guys in the office, and he had a board that had dollar signs across the board that indicated every time someone had a sale. And some people on that board had 30 and 40 sales, which at that time they were making anywhere from about $200 a deal. I started counting up $200 times 30 and started saying, "You got to be kidding me." When I looked around at some of the knuckleheads that was making that money, that I felt like could not hold a candle to me. So then I had to humble myself and come in and learn how to do door to door sales. Inside of 3 months, I was blessed to work my way up to management, where I went to Minnesota and opened up an office. I didn't have an idea what I was doing, but I had to fake it till I could make it. And upon coming back from Minnesota, helping get that office up, I had to go up to Flint and open up that office. And Dion at that time had really excelled in the business, and we just kind of forged a friendship that brought us to today, over 20 plus years of friendship, and being like brothers. So that would be the quickest way for me to sum that up.
Hell, y'all sound like Glenn Ross.
Look, look. First and foremost, what I love about it, and Jaquari and Damien, I want y'all to chime in. What I love about the situation is you guys were able to be flexible. You had a reason to say, you know what, this is not for me. This is what you were saying. You say this is not for me, right? But then you started to pay attention to, well, hey, no, hold on. This is something that I can go to. I mean, because a lot of times in life, we all are like that. Corey, what do you think, brother?
Well, I commend the gentleman, man, for being able to, go out and connect with people, man, on that level. I've said it since day one about myself, man. I'm not a hustler. I've always been able to sustain myself, with a air quotes regular job. And the notion of me getting out and having, to convince somebody to sell my product, man, I just don't think I'd be very adept at that at all. So
Okay.
yeah, I commend you, gentlemen, for real.
Okay, Damon.
I think, man, it takes a lot of courage, man, to step out on your own accord. You know what I'm saying you're not following. You're looking at everybody that's hustling like you, man. But it still requires you. You know what I'm saying? Your personality and how you like Stacey said, he saw a cast man hustling. He was like, "Oh no, my game tighter than that." You know what I'm saying? So he was all he
Yeah.
saw opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So he invested in himself. You know what I'm saying? Dion, man, he had the wherewithal to listen to somebody, man, who put him in on on game. A lot of us don't have that capacity, man, because of ego or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they've been hustling 30 years plus, man, and you know what I'm saying. I think it's safe to assume, man, that they have a lot of confidence in their ability, man. You know,
No
it's
doubt.
cats that take safe jobs, man, and still around retirement don't know what the hell they want to do or where they at in life. You know what I'm saying? Independency, man, that's personified with these two brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? They took a chance on themselves, and that's admirable. Real talk.
Say, well, look, first and foremost, what we believe in helping each other and helping brothers. Look, I believe in, um, staying within our community. You know, even though there's this stereotype. Why are you going to, and those stereotypes are put in our community for a reason because they're about the money, period. You know what I mean? And sometimes we become victims of it because we don't do our homework. You know what I mean? So across the bottom of the screen, Dion, make sure that what's scrolling across the screen is that's your website.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Dion is in Charlotte, North Carolina, that Charlotte, North Carolina area. Folks, if you need it, designer custom storm doors. This is the man for it. Talk to him. This is
Yes,
for
sir.
present who's watching us on live, and also for the future who's going to see this in the future. This is a good brother. This is one of them kind of brothers who've been in the game. In the game. We call it a game for a reason. You know why? Because really and truly, and this is my opinion about it, and Dion and Stacey, you guys could probably either alter it or just give your opinion about it. We call it a game because it's competitive. It's competitive, and what you're trying to do is do the very best you can. And when
Agree.
it comes to our community, what we excel at is our personalities and our work ethic.
So true.
Our personality and our work ethic, because stereotypes is stereotypes. And it's real. You know what I mean? Jaquari, Damon, what I just said about stereotypes, can you speak on it for me, please, if you have something to say about it? And then Dion, once they're done, then you go ahead and chop it up too.
Yeah.
Jaquari.
Yeah, stereotypes, man. There's always some truth to stereotypes, man. Just like legends. I mean, it's up to you to like. I mean, real talk. It's up to you as an individual, man, to convey particular, what particular message you want to put out there. If you're selling something, you want to be amicable, you want to be approachable, you want to be inviting, you want to be the kind of person who brings about a level of comfort in the person to make them relax enough to take the risk on buying your wares, you know. And like I said, man, it's a hell of a thing, man. It definitely takes a certain personality to do it, for real.
Look,
You
look,
know,
look.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time we're in the relationship business,
Yes, we are.
right? Relationship business. This is all about building rapport with your clients. I don't sell individuals. I design security to fit their security and financial needs. How do you do that? You have to uncover what their true needs are. How do you do that? By building relationships and by asking questions. It's the same thing you do when you meet a young lady and you want to get to know her. What do? You ask questions,
Hmm.
right? You start trying to create some type of relationship based on commonality, so on and so forth. It's the same thing in sales. I tell people all the time, I am a sales consultant and not a salesman. It's a difference.
Yeah.
So relationships is what we do. We build relationships. We're in a relationship industry.
So true.
Let me say, are you equating with being single and getting a woman's attention?
Well, look,
Hey,
hey man,
look,
look.
hey, Stacey,
The real
it's the
talk.
same thing. Hey, Damon,
Hey, you could have
after,
gave my cousin pass on
no,
that,
no, no, no,
man.
hold on.
I
After
don't need to
Stacey
pass.
done,
I mean,
no,
listen,
Real talk.
that's a good analogy.
That's
hold on.
real talk.
After
It's a
Stacey's
great
done,
analogy, but
after Stacey's done, then Damon, you go in. So, are you equating those two, brother? Look, I want to keep it. I want people to understand because, like I said, you and Dion are OGs in the game. This is not, you know what I mean? Y'all new and y'all successful right away. You guys built something. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So, look, we're laughing about it, but it's some, if it's some truth in this bit, let's go. Let's make it happen. So, what do you think, Stacey? Is that a good analogy?
I absolutely 100% believe that.
Yeah.
You think about it, it's a relationship business, and we build relationships. And Dion, what's your thought about that?
Yeah. I mean, just like what y'all guys talking about, I think there's so many elements to this business is because it's Stacey talk about relationship building. Actually, it's a little bit of everything because you got great listening skills, um, super listening, communication back and forth with people. You're listening to them. You're finding out their needs, their concerns. You become great with just your ears all the time. And body language. I tell people it's so psychological for what we do because you're looking at people's body languages, you're understanding their movements, their arm motions, their head motions, eye motions. So it's so much that you build with when you're in this particular industry that we in because you're building friendships. You know if somebody's going to take to you. If you know somebody's going to take to you, so we kind of know it right off. That's why when I talk to people, I can kind of understand if they can be a friend to me in about maybe a good, I say a good maybe 10 minutes. I already know if they're a good person I can either deal with or I got to keep moving to the next individual because that skill set that you get in this industry, in the sales industry, give it to you. That's why they always tell people to take a psychology class
Gotcha.
for this industry because it's so much psychology of this business that you have to know. That's why it's such a great business. But I absolutely agree with you guys. It's definitely so many components: relationships, communication, um, friendships. I mean, everything that you're looking for. That's what come with this industry. You build it, definitely build it.
Okay. Damon.
Well, look, the only thing I can contribute to is one day I went to see my cousin. He looked me up and down. He said, "Hey, cuz you do know 50% of it is appearance, right?"
We might want to
I
say
said,
that number higher. That's right.
"Huh?"
No. Hey, no. Hey, so basically, did you look at him and say, "Yo, do you know I'm 6'6"?"
Hey,
Hey, hey, but you know about business for people in your life. You hear me?
Try that again, Trace.
Yeah, we
Try
hear
that.
you now.
No, I said people do business with people that they like. You know, if you get a bad vibe and you can't
Great
relate to
point,
somebody, a lot of
man.
times
Great point.
you're not gonna be able to do business with them.
That's
Hey
look,
man,
look, that,
you
that's
know,
that's OG stuff. Go ahead, Quan.
yeah, I'm very interested to know how much of your business is repeat, man.
How much of it is what?
Is repeat business?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Uh,
Repeated business.
yeah, I had a buddy of mine, man. He sells cars or whatever, and he told me you don't sell a person that one car just on that one occasion. You do the best you can to sell them several cars over several years.
so how I'd answer that question? Cause my repeat business is because I have referral partners, people that sell real estate, people that do mortgages, and they send me repeat business based on the relationship that we've been able to carve out of trust, where they know that I'm going to take great care of their clients.
That makes
So,
sense.
Yeah.
so my business is all based on referral business.
I got a story for you, my friend. I had a client last week, and I showed their neighbor right next door to him. Right, they purchased a house 15 years ago. The gentleman that lived next door to him, he called me up. I want to say back in maybe 2014, 15 or something. No, yeah, maybe about 2015. And he had me come out to his house. He didn't purchase from me then. And at that point, I guess I've been knowing about 6 years. Why did him and his wife call me back last week? And I came out of all these years, 15 years ago, and I just had some doors on their house last week. I kept the relationship for
It's real.
15 years. He
It's
finally
real.
bought from me.
It's real.
You relationship with me, just knowing me, and he came and called me and gave me the business from 15 years ago.
Okay.
He was
Look,
trying to make sure you was gonna stay in business.
Man, that's funny as hell, man.
hey, look.
Damn.
I love this conversation because, like I said, what we doing, we talking to two OGs in this game. This is real. These are successful businessmen. Period. I want you guys to understand this because what they're doing is they're giving you their experience. And look, if they want to later on, they want to, if they want to give you some advice, that's cool. But right now, we're at the halfway point, and what we usually do, we got three segments: the beginning, the middle, and the end. And I want you to say it out loud. This is requires the name. I want you to say the name out loud, Jaquari, because you mumble it all the damn time. Say it out loud what your segment is because it might be popular because you that guy. So it's on you, Jaquari, halfway point.
Yeah, well, this is the name of my segment is Uncle Spoke Sake,
Uncle
and
Spoke say.
Uncle Spoke not says Uncle Spoke Sake, but yeah, just keeping on track with the subject, man. I mean, as far as selling yourself and putting yourself out there, man, you know, I've recently gotten into that a lot, selling, aspects of sales, for personal growth, man. Because I work with juvenile, young juvenile males in a facility, and I talk about how every first meeting, it's always been said that first impressions are everything, but first impressions carry over into the last minute that you have an interaction with a person. Every interaction, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, there's always an interview. There's always a certain way to present yourself in order to get the things that you want and the things that you need. Um, we used to have places that young people could go in our community, man, to polish themselves. You know, I don't know how much experience you gentlemen have with HBCUs, but North Carolina Central, the place that I graduated from, it was a requirement that everyone had elocution lessons. It was, I mean, they weren't graded or anything like that, but you were sent to an auditorium, and they told you the difference between a salad fork and the fork that you use during your regular meal. All that stuff is important, man. Your public face, man. Who are you when we meet? And for me personally, man, the person I meet, hopefully that aligns with the person that you are. Once I'm able to get that mask off me, because I like to think that I'm the same person, same personality, same demeanor and everything, at all times. That's not something I try to regulate. But yeah, man, personal presentation, man, is of the utmost importance. If you strong, like my cousin Stacey was saying, about the 50%, being with people's seat, and that's what you're good at, and that's what you should lean on. If your personality is inviting or whatever, and you lacking in some other areas, then you need to lean on that personality in order to get what you want. But that's my segment, man. It's Uncle's Post segment.
All right. Great one, man. Great. I have a question. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for you two gentlemen. But everybody that I bring on here, man, me and my brothers bring folks on here for a reason. Because we have a lot of respect for people as individuals. Yes, they have great accomplishments, but as individuals, they're great human beings. And this is what the crazy thing about it is. They try to hit us in the head all the time with the little small social media news and all that we don't have these kind of personalities. We're not capable of being, and I'm speaking generally from my point of view, we don't have these kind of things, but we are here, and we've been here since us old heads been children. This is what we saw. We saw everything, but we also saw the majority of this. Men living their lives and being successful at what they do. Okay? So what I want to do is ask you guys this. I'm going to combine two questions because they kind of go together. What are some of the things that you think stood in your way as salesmen throughout your career? And were there any setbacks to your career? We'll start with you, Dion, because you laughed. That was the previous laugh. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I always say this in the industry that we in, any business opportunity that you get into, a great example is a lot of people on social media, and what social media show you the success that's right now. People showing off their cars, their homes, their women, wives, beautiful wives. Success that comes with having a successful business, sure. But guess what they don't show? They don't show you the failures. And the failure is just as much as part of the success.
Is it just me, man? I can't hear you, man.
You don't know how to appreciate the success.
Fix your mic,
we
Dion.
sports junkies. So the thing about it is, I tell people all the time,
Dion, hold on for a second.
when you go in there and
Fix your mic.
when you going in and you're trying out for your teams, and you want to make the team so bad, but they cut you. And what happens is a lot of times is when you leave out of there, you leave with your head hanging down, you're embarrassed. And what happens here? A lot of people give up, don't they? They just like, forget it. I can't play. I'm done with it. I'm going to keep moving. But if you're really passionate, you really see that, hey, I can probably go back. I think I can take some of these guys. You start going home, you're behind it, you're working on your jump shot. You're working on your dribble. You're working on your post-up game. And guess what? Over time, guess what happened? That failure turns into success. And you don't see it in abundance. You see it over time. One day you might have 10 points in the game. Next time you've been working on your game so much, you score 25. That's the way. The same thing that you take and allocate it to the business aspect, you're going to have a lot of failures. You're going to have a lot of setbacks. So the thing about it is you can't hide from it. You can't run from it. Me and Stacey got a saying, you got to stomach it. It ain't going nowhere. You got to take it on head on. And that's the way that we have lived a lot of our career we don't stomach it. You know what? Um, the old saying was, "If it ain't rough, it ain't right." I like it rough because I like it rough so I can come out and make it right again, so I can go off to the next situation and take on that one head on as well. So I would tell you, setbacks, don't run from them. They are part of success, and you have to take the pain is just as well as the you got to take the pain as well as the cheers and the glory for sure. I'm
And
sure Stacey can say it on that.
I would love to say, in response to what that brother just said, as I get to know him, when he said he like it rough, he means challenging. You know what I'm saying? And challenging himself. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not misogynistic.
Wow. Yeah, you threw that in there. Okay. Stacey, it's on you, bro.
I got it. I got it.
Hey, Stacey, with us?
I would like to ask both of y'all a question, man, because obviously both of y'all are very confident people, man, and very successful. You know what I'm saying? There's no denying that. But my question to both of you guys is that if you're confident in who you are and you're putting your best foot forward and you're engaging with people who are insecure and they meet your confidence as offensive or whatever, how do you get past that? Am I making sense?
Hey, Dion, answer
I'm gonna
that question because we got Stacey got a portrait up there right now, so he's in a dead spot. So go ahead.
He got a modeling picture.
Yeah.
Hey, D, you understand what I was saying though?
Can I say that one more time? I'm sorry.
I'm saying, as you are in your confidence, you in your zone.
Yeah.
How do you address somebody, man, who's intimidated by your confidence, and they're not listening to your picture, whatever. They're just sitting, looking at your body language and your confidence, and they're like, "Oh, this guy might be coming on too strong or whatever," and not even thinking about, you know what I'm saying, the situation. They're just judging you by your confidence.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Let me
I'm gonna
answer
let
that
Stacey
question, D, first. Can I answer that question?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sure, absolutely.
Answer that question, please.
So first of all, Luke, Damon, that's part of what Dion was saying. We learn how to read body language. So when I come in, I'm looking at the husband and the wife. If they're crossing their arms, crossing their legs, if their eyes are all over the place, I got to bring them back to me. So what I'm gonna do is build him up, and I'm gonna find some common ground with him. Whoever
Great.
find some common ground with them. If I see, can you hear me?
Great point, man. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna find common ground in the house with the customer. And if that common ground, if I'm looking around the house and I see some trophies and the guy plays sports or karate or whatever, I'm going to hit him with that to bring him back around and build some confidence. And then we start talking about business. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So that's my short answer. D, if you want to add to that, you can.
No, you're great. Just like he said, with your confidence, you ruling in the room, he building rapport with the customer. He reading the body language. You pointing out things. Because let me tell you one thing about life. Everybody, I don't care if you've been a person that have failures and things of that nature, we all like to talk about ourselves. We all got something about ourselves that we can talk to other people about. So if you say, for instance, you're a fashion guy, maybe I pull that out of you and you tell me about your fashion, what you like about it, what some of the things that you aren't, or that's your preference that everybody like. Might be glasses, might be shoes, might be pants. I don't know, but I'm pulling it out of you because I'm building rapport with you to build your confidence up. Everybody like to talk about themselves. I don't care what profession you in, whatever you do for a living, you want to talk about. Everybody want to be heard. I don't care if it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Everybody want to get their own time where they can shine for 1 minute and be heard.
And and the last part of that is we get a high off of going into somebody's home that we don't even know, and within
Yes.
30 minutes to an hour, they giving you all their personal information, Social Security, writing you a
Wow.
check, giving you their credit card, giving you referral, the whole nine.
Yes, they do.
All right. Well, I got a
Man.
question for both you guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Quiet, then I'll go.
No, I was just gonna a couple things actually, man. You know, you talk about sales, man. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Robert Beck. His pen name is Iceberg Slim.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
He wrote a book called Pimp: The Story of My Life. And
Okay.
you want to talk about sales? That's got to be the like everybody's rough draft right there. You got to pick that book up and check it out.
No
Man,
doubt.
fuck
Yes.
you.
No doubt.
Secondly,
You.
secondly,
Huh.
do you ever find
What was that?
Hey, you
Right.
all right, Stace?
Face.
Huh?
You all right,
You
man?
good? Right.
This motherfucker tried to run me off the road. Excuse my language.
Okay.
And
Damn,
then he
cuz.
started giving me the finger. Sorry about that. You gotta edit it.
wow.
No, ain't no edit. This live, my guy.
Yeah,
Hey, listen.
If you gotta throw some shit up, man, put it
And
on.
cuz you in Chicago, I got the lock and load, bro. For real, man.
for real.
It's right here on the seat.
All right,
Okay.
well, look, let me ask
Secondly,
you guys a
man.
question. No, go ahead, finish the
Yeah.
part. My fault.
Secondly, man, I was wondering if you guys have like a target audience, man, or do you go out and just spitball? What do you do?
Yeah. Great question. I can answer that.
Yeah, I want to hear this because we had this
Yeah.
conversation.
Well, for me, my business has been on the residential side. I deal with straight homeowners. Um, I like decision makers right then and there. Some people in business sales, I like residential sales because a lot of the times you get to the decision maker very quickly. So, all through my career, I've been dealing with just residential clientele. That's why I built up my clientele for years and years and years and years. I don't care what business you in, Jaquari, I don't care what business you in, my friend. It's all a relationship built. If it's business owners, residential customers, people got cousins that got friends, friends got cousins that got uncles, uncles got brothers that got sisters, sisters got brothers that got nieces and nephews that got kids. It's an ongoing cycle for years and years and years. I've been in the business so long. I'm writing people children's up now. They're homeowners now.
Damn.
You know what I mean? I can literally go to my grave and the business will still be coming in.
Okay.
The business will still be coming in.
Okay, Stacy, are you there?
Quiet. Okay, I just had to handle my situation real quick. Yeah, I can hear you. So quiet. So what Dion is saying is spot on. I don't really have a target audience. Everybody is a prospect to me. And so Dion does a great job. The majority of his client base is Caucasian. He's tapped into that market like crazy. The majority of my business is African American. I say my product mix will probably be 90% African American and 10% other ethnicities. But I don't run from it. I just take it how it comes.
No doubt, no doubt. I mean,
But that makes a lot of sense though, cuz.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
being OGs, yeah, I think you guys can go back and forth, across whatever, because what it is with you guys is about sales. It ain't got shit to do with color of your skin and none of that. It's about the sale. So, but I do have a question.
And I was going to
Tell me,
piggyback a little bit on that. You know what? Let me piggyback off a little bit of that. At the end of the day, it does have a little bit of a racial tone to it, just to a certain degree. I'm African American. I'm a big boy. I'm tall. I'm big. I'm light skinned. I got when I first came into the industry, I had a lot of slang in my voice. So I had to change some of my dialect to the way I talk to people. And over time, getting in front of people and learning how to speak properly and say things to people right then and there was a big component. it really deterred me from talking to other races, Caucasians, Indians, any other ethnicity race that I had to go in front of. I was intimidated because I only knew one way. I'm from the hood of East. I'm from the east side of Detroit. 90% of my friends are African American. My principal was African American. My mother and father African American. My police officers were. So I didn't really have a lot of communication with Caucasian people for a lot of time. I learned over time as I got better to learn how to talk to different races. That's what propelled my confidence in going in and talking to other ethnic groups. So what I'm saying to anybody that's in this industry, definitely, you can't start. You have to start somewhere and get. And when you get in front of people, I don't care if you got the most street talking. Get in front of people and talk to them. Over time, you'll learn, but you got to be in the game to keep learning and learning and learning. And I guarantee you, I just been blessed to have a big different ethnic group of different races. So I've been,
And you know, and you
just
and you
like
know
she
what,
said,
Keith?
most of my race are Caucasian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stacey.
No, I was just gonna say, and what Dion talked about how he grew up, the fact that I grew up in
Mm.
Ypsilanti, right? And we had a mixed school. I'm in band, and we just had some of every. It was a melting pot at our school, and so that helped me, in my adulthood, even going to the military, another melting pot. So it was not uncommon for me to see other ethnicities and for me to communicate with them. Now, did they accept me was a different thing, but I could communicate with anybody on any level, and I think a
Right.
lot of that was because of the upbringing, school, East Middle School, East High, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's a good
Well,
point.
So
well,
so what I'm hearing,
hold,
let
hold,
me
hold
let me
on.
respond to that for a minute, man. So what I'm
No,
hearing,
hold on.
because go ahead, man.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, but I'm just responding to what y'all say. I'm speaking from a personal experience, man. My whole interaction with whatever color was built on my stature and what I can contribute. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to. Only thing I had to do was sell myself through my physical attributes and stuff like that, and able to deliver. You know what I'm saying? So my mindset was always, "Hey, you gonna accept me? Or you ain't." You know what I'm saying? This is what I could do. You know what I'm saying? Can we do a transaction with each other? You know what I'm saying? Whereas what I'm hearing from y'all is y'all are able to go in and do that psychological thing and see what it is and be able to do what y'all have to do in that aspect. Where I just have to get on the ball court. You know what I'm saying? Or keep the grades. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming from that aspect. Am I making sense?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so basically, what you guys just chiming in what Damon's saying, you guys are very good at finding common ground with every customer that you
Y'all
meet.
need to write a book, man.
You know what I'm
Straight
saying?
up, because it's deeper.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
y'all delve deeper, man. Y'all delve deeper in terms
So,
of
so,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I mean.
let me
Yeah.
ask this before you
Mm.
respond, Dion, because I
Yeah.
want to throw this in there. Um, what's the difference between? I mean, because you guys touched on the different communities, right? So, what's the difference between a male customer and a female customer?
Great. Great point.
So, we'll start with you, Stacy.
So in my industry, the difference between a male customer and a female customer, I'm in the security industry. So the male customer always feels like he can protect the house. He don't need no damn security system. He the security, right? And
right.
so the woman just wants the security, but she wants her husband to want the security for her. So with that being said, that's the difference. I have to play up to him like, hey, I know you can handle your home, but we're talking about when you're not here, who's protecting your family? Because I know when you're there, you got them covered. So that's the difference between those two for me in my industry. And a lot of
Yeah.
times the wife makes the decisions. Why is that? She's
Yeah.
typically at home. She's dealing with the children. She makes a
Yeah.
lot of the doctor's appointments and all that kind of stuff. She's handling
Yeah.
the bills. So if I can appeal to her, but make sure that I make sure that he understands that he's the man, and I want him to feel like he's winning, and then we win.
Yeah.
That's
He
a fact.
won. He 1,000% on it.
Okay.
Same thing here. In my industry, in my industry, I'm in the door industry, obviously, and the woman makes 89% of the decisions. And what I mean by that is, if I get invited over to the home, and the wife, if the wife doesn't sit down at that kitchen table, I might as well just pack up my things and leave out the front door. It's not going to be a sale today. If the wife sit down and she engages, it's going to be a happy day. So what Stacey's saying is, the women 90% make most of the decisions when it comes to the households.
So
You think the man do, but a lot of the women make the decisions
But
in the house.
but the other piece to that is this. Imagine when you have men coming into your castle, guys, and if they look halfway decent, again, we look like a threat to the guy. We come in peace, right?
no, you ain't.
Hey, y'all brothers getting deep, man. Y'all
You
getting
ain't.
deep, man.
Hey, wait. Hold
You're
on,
not
man.
claiming to
Hold
be
on,
a
what you
clean
talking?
motherfucker, are you?
Huh?
Right.
Y'all get deep, man.
I'm really something else, man. That's right. I mean,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
it's a communication industry, no question about
Let
it.
me
Like
put it
they
like
say.
this, okay? I understand the old adage. I believe in this shit. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah,
Meaning, if your wife, especially when you're the head of your household, if your wife is happy and secure, you want to please her. But let me ask you guys something. I know you alluded to making the wife feel comfortable in what you guys do, right? But just on the men's point of view, this is my own little personal thing. The men, especially if he's in the household, which I hate to say that shit like that, but the men, they make the final decision. See, I'm trying to be sober. I'm kind of leaning towards chauvinism, and I don't want to lean towards that. But like, I love my wife to death, right? But when I know it's time for security, I need to hear you guys, and you tell me when it comes to the doors, Dion, and Stacey with your security. If it's a man in the house, is he the one that you gotta convince on the final say?
That's exactly what I was saying to you, Keith.
Okay.
If I walk in and he walking around the king of the castle, his
yeah,
chest is stuck out. He don't
yeah,
want to give me no eye contact. He
yeah,
acting like I ain't saying shit, right? I am going to appeal to him. I'm going to break him down like an M16, build him back up, and then I'm going to get his wife, right? And I'm going to play his wife to him and say, listen, man, I know you can handle the house, but you work night shift. So you gone from, 11 at night to 7 o'clock in the morning,
Gotcha.
right? And your wife just needs that extra peace of mind. And then I'm gonna hit
absolutely.
him with, it's only $58.99 a month. That's $1.96 a day. You spend that on
Yeah,
a cup of coffee. Are you kidding me? Then I'm gonna make you feel bad. Okay?
yeah.
I guess.
No,
Dion.
he 1,000% correct. Only thing I can add on to it, it typically comes down to a two decision household. So they're gonna talk about it, Keith. I mean, at the end of the day, the wife is the one that wants it, but the husband is gonna be the one because most of the time the income is coming out of the household. So they're gonna have to talk and make the decision together. Only thing I'm saying is, end of the day, you in that house because the wife wants you in that house.
No
You know
doubt.
what I mean?
No doubt.
The wife wants you in that house, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm very interested. I'm very interested to know you guys, your perspectives on your products, man. Like, can you, like, when you're selling the product, can you say that you actually use it? You actually experience the pros and
Good
cons of it?
question. Good
Yeah,
question.
yeah. I think just over years, I've been doing this industry for roughly almost 20 years now. Just in the door industry, and I mean, literally, I think you can't. The product that you have, I think you sleep, eat it. Man, if I could go to sleep with a door in my bed, brother, I would go to sleep with a door in my bed. Only thing I can't do it because my wife gonna get mad at me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I would say it's a product. It's like there again, it's a sports analogy. You got a basketball. You really just passionate about what you do, and you'll go to sleep with that basketball. I don't care if you just came out the rain with it. You're gonna put it right in your cover and wrap it right around your body. Well, that's just the same way as us. We passionate at what we do. We sleep and eat our product. We got to be able to put that on to the customer because we have to be passionate about what we have to actually sell it to the next person and offer it to the next person. So you got to know your product. You ain't got it in your house. You better know your product very very well because you have to bring that passion over to your customers. That's the
yeah.
So,
way they buy from you, my friend.
so to what Corey asked, um, the analogy I would give is if I'm going in when I had hair on my head, if I'm going into the barber shop and I'm looking at the barber and his line is jacked up and his haircut is jacked up, I'm not sitting in his chair, right?
Hmm.
So if I'm talking to you about cameras, I'm gonna pull up my cameras, Jacory, and show you mine at my house.
That's real.
I'm gonna show you how I can turn my system on and off, right? How I can go back and play back images because a picture's worth 1,000 words. And people want to know: are you walking? Are you talking? Are you embellish? I mean, are you embodying that? So are you doing the same thing yourself? And that answer is yes. So that's a big component to what I do. I'm showing them that I have it as well. Yes.
No doubt.
Got to
So,
have your product.
so look. So
Hey,
let me
let me
just
ask
say,
you guys a question.
let me just say this real quick, Damon. Look at the bottom of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. The folks that's watching right now, and also is watching in the future. Both these gentlemen's websites are scrolling across the screen. Dion is in North Carolina. Stacey is in Chicago. Doesn't mean that they just restricted to their particular states, but understand that
Correct.
these great OGs in their particular game, and just reach
They
out
got
to them,
reach.
talk to them.
They got reach when it comes to
Yeah.
your safety and concerns.
All right, go ahead, Damon.
My point is this, man, and this is a question y'all can choose to answer it or not, man. But say you go into a neighborhood, man, when you see this major concern, man, but there's the man and the woman in the house, and the man was like, "Hey, man, I don't need all that, man. I just need this." And you looking, and you like, "No, bro, you need more than that." You know what I'm saying? How do y'all convince those people, man? How do y'all convince that brother? Because you know the woman, she's probably the reason why y'all in the house. You know what I'm saying?
I'm listening.
Two things. First of
Yeah,
all, let me go back and I'm gonna answer your question, Damon.
yeah,
But and you kind of mentioned about us being far-reaching. I'm blessed. COVID opened up a market for me in my industry where it taught me that I could sell from the comfort of my own home. I can
hmm,
pull up your house on a website and
yeah,
walk you through your home and design a system, and then have a technician like I just did today in Florida, one in Memphis, one in Arkansas, come out to your house within 24 hours and install the
yeah,
system. So we are everywhere,
yeah,
right? I just did that over the last 2 days.
Okay.
Um, and to the other point that you're making, if I have that husband that is adamant about what he wants, but the wife wants a system, I'm going to tell him, okay, not a problem. I'm not going to fight with him because the objective is to eat that day. It's to eat, right? So I will tell him, let's start, and I'm going to meet you where you are. You can add the other pieces to the system if you like, in the near future when you're ready to do it. But some security is better than what? No security. So
No
that's what my
security.
answer is.
Okay, Dion.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like if you get into a chance where you get a chance to come across a customer that give you a hard time about your situation, information, my friend, information beats anybody. You're not going to sell everybody at the end of the day. But like he said, information is your best component. The time you give across enough information, you give a chance for a person to make a great decision.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and one last piece of that. Guess what? Every customer is not a customer for me. Some people
That's
just
it.
not a good fit. And I have to
Nope.
be able to say, you know what? I respect where you are, sir. Let's touch bases in the near future. God bless you. And I'm out. Because what I don't want to do, because I have to guarantee that contract for 12 months in my industry, or it's
That's
a
real.
chargeback. So if you ask me questions like, what happened if I don't want it in 4 months? What
Yeah.
happened if I miss a payment? What happened if
Right.
I lose my job? If you hit me with all the kind of questions, I'm not even going to sell to you.
Yeah.
And just like Stacey's saying, every customer is not your customer. That's why you give the person the information and you give them an easy decision. Either they're going to be a customer or they're not going to be a customer. But you can't convince and sit and beg people, and you got to keep it moving. Time is money. Money is time. You got to keep it. You got to keep pushing on. Go to the next person. Somebody will buy from you. What's the
No
old
doubt.
saying, Stace? No, yes. What is it called again? No. Oh, he
In
done
terms
messed
of you
up.
got to get the no's out the way to get to the yes. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no. It's no, yes, and something else. I can't think. It was an old school
I can't.
saying
I
back in
can't
the
think what
day.
you're talking about.
Okay,
No,
okay.
But
no,
but but
Mm.
yes,
what I will
Stacey.
tell you, I'll tell a customer in a heartbeat. It's okay. We don't have to do business now, but at some point you will see me, and I can't tell you how many
Yeah.
customers that have told me no, then call me back, and a lot of times it's too late because when someone is attempted to break into your home, guess what? That person gets traumatized, man, and we don't want that. So no security at that point is going to help them once that happens, guys.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
So
And it's,
let's just do this. Jaquari, Damon, you have other questions before I go to my question?
No, I'm just saying, man. I can see it. It's amazing how you guys can bring it to a place where somebody feel like being a hard sell, but you making it make sense. You know what I'm saying?
That's OGs in the game, man. And then the fact that mixed with that great personalities, that's some good shit. That's real. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So let me ask. Jaquari, did you have a question?
No.
Okay. Let me ask this. What do you, even though you guys had pretty much a lifetime in the game and had great accomplishments, what's the one accomplishment that you do remember?
Um, I got a quick story. City of Detroit. Excuse me. It was somebody told me I had a client one time, and they said, "Hey, Dion, do you know it's they're building $1 million homes downtown city of Detroit off the water?" I said, "Really?" I said, "Where the?" So they point me in the direction, right? And I went down there, and of course, everybody should be familiar with Sinbad's Sinbad restaurant right off the water, right downtown Detroit,
Yeah.
off the Bone Arena.
The rooster
So
tail.
it, Rooster Tail,
Yeah.
yeah, right there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right there. Okay. So I went down there, and man, it was these beautiful homes being built, $1 million houses being built. And I walked in there and I wanted to see if I could talk to the whoever was selling them, the owner, whoever was. And I walked in and I asked the young lady, I'm like, "Ooh, I would love to design some doors on your house." She said, "Well, hang on for a minute. I'll go get the owner." I said, "Really? Okay." The owner came out, and the owner was an African American man. His name, Mr. Morgan. Okay, Jerome Morgan. And he was building these beautiful homes. So I came up, I said, "Hey, sir," I said, "You know what? Hey, I'm a door guy. I can come in and I can put some beautiful custom-made glass doors on your home. I can beautify these $1 million houses real quick. This man said, okay, son, do you know he took my arm, he walked me straight out the front door and told me don't come back again. So I said, okay. Well, that later, I want to say probably maybe a month later, it was a client that moved into the home, one of his homes. They were sitting right there in the corner. And his gate, it was a gated community. I pulled the gate open because they didn't have electronic gates put together yet. So I pulled the gate open, I slid in there. I went and knocked on the lady's door and the gentleman's door. And I said, hey, congratulations, welcome to the community. I said, y'all lacking one thing in this beautiful home. Y'all need some beautiful glass doors put up. And the lady said, you got that right. Come on in. So I came in, sat down with them. She said, hey, I said, I damn near was going to give them the doors because I wanted my product in there. Right. So they end up purchasing some doors from me. So after they were so happy, they said, hey, come over. We want to introduce you to somebody. I said, oh, okay. So we walked over to one of the guest house. Guess who was in there? Mr. Morgan. And they said, hey, Mr. Morgan, this gentleman just took care of us on our doors and da-da-da-da-da. And I thought my heart was beating so fast because I thought he was going to bust me out and say, dude, I told you to stay out of here. He did not say anything to me. I came back with the product and service, and I ended up putting the doors in. So after I put the doors in, I was at a networking event, and Mr. Morgan walked into the networking event, and he came up to me. He said, man, you know what, man? That door looks really nice, man, you put in. I said, thank you. And he said, you know what? I might call you back to do another house for me. I said, okay, cool. I get a phone call probably a month later from his secretary. She said, hey, Dion, could you come down? Mr. Morgan wants you to do another house. I said, okay. So I went down to the $1 million houses, walked in, and the young lady walked outside with me. And I think at that time, Mr. Morgan probably had about 50 houses with clients in them. So we walked out in front of the house, and Mr. Morgan, the young lady said to me, Mr. Morgan wants you to do all of the houses. All of them.
Mm-hmm. That's what's
and up. That right there changed the focus of my career. He gave me my confidence. He gave me my wherewithal. He gave me the ticket to where I'm living at today.
Well, let me ask
that
you a
paycheck
question,
took me to another level. Yes.
D, let me ask you a question. What was his apprehension,
man? First of all, I was young at the time. This was years ago. This is almost 20 years ago. I'm a young black man. I don't got no naming. I'm just getting in the industry. So I'm trying to get my clientele base up. I've probably been in maybe about 2 years at that point, but I got no substantial clientele. You know, I got a little bit of small here's and there's, but there was nothing to define my career at that point. He gave me a shot, and that shot, I nailed it. And when I nailed it, he gave me my confidence, and it took me to a whole nother level. And that brought on my success to where I'm at today. Now I got 3 major retirement communities that I service. That's $1 million homes, $700,000 homes that these people call me consistently. That contract is mine for the rest of my well-being. I eat off of that. That's how I pay my mortgage. I pay my cars. I fund my trips. Even down to my wife's wedding ring on her finger.
And you know what, though, Dion? The crazy thing about it, great response, is that was a spectacular point of view on what you were trying to do and your stick-to-itiveness. I know I mashed that shit up, but y'all understand. Stacey,
A lot of people need to be listening to this shit, man.
Yes,
Straight
sir.
up.
Oh, this is gold. This is gold right here.
This
Platinum.
is
I'm sorry.
crazy, man.
Well, they put platinum over gold, so fuck it. Platinum.
This is
Oh,
crazy,
hey,
man.
Stacey is up.
People need to hear this.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, can you hear me? So
Yes,
so
sir.
I had moved to Chicago, and I didn't know anybody in Chicago, and so I'm just kind of door knocking, and so my target market was going to be churches. It was churches, daycares, and funeral homes. So I'll never forget going into this particular funeral home, and they turned me away several times. And so finally, I got to the son, and uh, and me and the son had a conversation. He ended up giving me a shot. I ended up writing up this funeral home, which is the number one funeral home in Chicago, called Leak and Son Funeral Home. The gentleman was married to Mavis Staples at one point. He's
Okay.
just this family is just like a major family in Chicago. And so not only did I do that funeral home, I did all the other funeral homes. And once I dropped their name, stuff just opened up. And so that was an aha moment because I had no clue who I was talking to, and it didn't matter because I needed to eat. And everybody's like, that was my first client. My first client, one of my biggest clients ever. I've done their personal homes, the funeral homes, the whole 9 yards. So that would be one of. I have so many stories, but that's the one that jumps out for me because that happened my third week there. My first week there, they broke into my apartment, stole my laptop computer, and stole some money, kicked my door in. My first week there. My second week I moved out. My third week I sold the customer, which was Leak and Sons Funeral Home.
Okay.
Have you
Okay.
guys ever? Hey,
Hey,
Keith, let
hey,
me ask
hey,
you
cause I
this.
remember one
This
thing about you, man. When you was in Detroit, and I was calling you on the phone, and you was like, "Hold on for a minute," and you got back. You was like, you saw some construction work, and you put your card there.
Yes, sir.
You remember that?
That's called the 3 foot rule. Absolutely.
Okay. Quiet. You had a question?
have either one of you guys ever find yourselves in a position to provide an opportunity for somebody else coming up? Because that's it sounds like that's what happened, particularly in Dion's case.
Talk a little bit, guys, because I'm trying to recharge my phone a little bit. Can you take that station? Stacy then froze up.
No, ask that question one more time, Ja'Cory.
Yeah.
So, since you started a business and seeing as how you got your start, have you ever found yourself in a position to provide an opportunity for another up and comer?
So here's what I'll tell you. Me and Dion always have had open doors, but the mindset is different. Everybody wants to just add water to success today, so nobody's willing to start from the ground floor and work their way up.
Ooh.
And not only that, when you go into these job fairs and we're talking to people, how about they don't even let you? They don't even want me and Dion to set up if we're just talking about a commission position. If you're not offering hourly, they don't even want to talk to you. They have no clue that these people that do sales at commission make anywhere from 60 to 150, $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, and that's the thing about it. Dion,
Yep.
are you still charging, baby boy?
Yeah, still good, but I can hear you guys. Go ahead.
I mean, do you have something to add to that?
Yeah. What Stacy just like he said to it. These people, I always I tell him, and just a quick story on me and him. Story me and Stacy. I always talk about that when me and him we became who we are today. It's a backstory to it because I always say when I was already in the industry when Stacy came, but I was a young kid. I was young and dumb. Stacy was more mature. He was married. He was established. He came in. He was about business. I was still kind of, I was messing around with single guy. I wasn't focused like that. I was just making money. So I saw him being very professional. He was wearing these nice suits every day. He was well spoken. Um, he was about his business. So I always tell him every day he was my Michael Jordan. I was his coach, and I took the relationship. You know why I took the relationship? Because I came from, let's say, around hustlers that wasn't going in the right direction. I saw this brother being clean cut. He was going in the right direction. I like classed on him like handcuffs. And I wanted to be around him because he was exuding success. And I tell him every single day, he helped me change the trajectory of my life. Because I don't even know if I still would be in this industry if I didn't have the guidance. I tell people all the time in entrepreneurship, if you don't get you, if you don't get you a person that's gonna take you by the wings and you can ride with them as a mentor, you're gonna do yourself a bad justice. You cannot go through this industry without strong leaders. You're not gonna be successful because it's too many hiccups. It's too many bumps in the road. It's too many headaches. You got people, and remember what type of world we live in. We don't live in a kind world every day. So when you walk through the front doors, what do people do? I'm sure people say, "Oh, Keith, don't become a police officer, man. You don't want to do that type of job, man. If you do that, da 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 da, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that." Well, you always hear negativity on people when you talking success. What they do? They always shoot you down. They always say, "You can't do that. You can't do this." But there again, when you got people on the same trajectory you going in, they gonna say, "You know what? You can do this, brother. You can fight through this. You can pick the phone up and you're going through some problems. You got a positive person on the other end telling you how to get out of it, what to do. Stay the course. Don't give up. Fight. Do this. Do that." You gotta have that type of person. If you don't got an accountability individual in your life, I feel sorry for you. You have to have it. So now, all these years me and Stacey has been together, I don't even think both of us would be in the industry. We both have rode each other coattails all the way success. And guess what? Even with rewards for ourselves. If my man come home and Stacey might have bought him a Range Rover or a Cadillac truck or something, he'll say, "Man, you know what? I just got that new Cadillac truck." I don't hate on him. I say, congratulations. Guess what? I go grind harder so I can go get me one because you stand on levels. And if you want to be on the same level with somebody, they got to lead. Some people going to lead by example. And when they lead by example, you're going to cut that coattail. And that's what I did.
Oh, he dropped, Space. You got anything to say about it?
People nowadays, people, man, really fail to see the value of
No.
not just being a mentor, but being a mentee,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
humbling themselves, man, and learning.
You got to
yeah.
fall in line sometime. Go ahead, Stace.
No. I heard everything. I'm just checking into this room, and I don't want the phone to hang up. I got less than 1%, about 1%. But no, it's spot on at me. What you said, Ja'Cory, is absolutely correct.
I fell off, guys.
So we have no issue helping people, man. We love helping people. Dion always talks about passing the torch to other people. They just gotta want it, brother. You
No
know.
doubt. No doubt. So you say you got 1% left. So
Yep. Mm-hmm.
give us a closing remark, Stace. Then we'll go to you, Dion, and then we're gonna move to you, Damon. Bring us on home.
Yeah.
I don't have anything that's radical to say other than the fact that you have to always bet on yourself, man. If you're not willing to bet on yourself, don't even get in no game. I've never felt like any man was better than me. I ain't give a fuck how much money you made, how much stature you had. It never mattered to me. I knew what Johnny Mary Chauncey instilled in me was that I was a winner. And all
No
I had to
doubt.
do was go out here and do my thing, and that's what I've been doing. And putting God first and all of that.
No
That
doubt.
that would be what I would say to you.
Dion.
Yes, sir. Great point what Stacey said. Self-confidence is everything. Belief is everything. I would just tell people, if you want to enter this industry, you want to get into the entrepreneurship, which most people want to do at some point in their lives. They want to venture across doing their own thing and own their own business. I would say, if you definitely jump into this game, please get you a mentor. Get somebody you can believe in, somebody that has some success in business. Um, Somebody that believe in you, that really want to teach you and take you on at the next level. If you can get that, I always tell people that's the best way of progressing in business. But I always tell people success is in you. Belief is in you. You got to believe it. Don't believe what everybody say you can't do. You got to believe in you. And I always should just put myself in that, hey, I believe in myself. I'm always going to believe in myself. And to the up and coming entrepreneurs, believe in yourself. And when you think you're having a bad day don't last forever. It's just one day. You got to get back up and go back again and do it all over again. So I'm looking for the next future entrepreneurs that want to come through this and grow this industry, because it is a journey. But at the end of the day, I'm sure you guys gonna enjoy all the moments, so you could be the next person telling your journey to help the next person become the next entrepreneur. But I appreciate you guys.
No doubt, no doubt. Jaquari, any last words before we go to Damon?
Gentlemen, I value. I thank you for your time, man, and I thank you for you sharing your story, and it definitely is inspirational, man. Keep on pushing, and the strong perspectives is always going to be here for you.
No doubt, no doubt. Damon, bring us on home, brother.
Um, for the first time in a long time, man, I listened to two brothers that look like me, man, who make no excuses. I'm sure they had their trials and tribulations in their life, man, and they 20 and 30 years strong, man, in it. So they didn't give up in any kind of way, and they believed in themselves. You know, I can speak on my own personal life, man, in terms of my own personal family. I can talk to my family because I know them. I know their personalities and keep them engaged and involved in giving their best selves. But I listened to two brothers, man, that spoke on engaging with strangers who have their own issues and figuring out and understanding how to navigate that and being successful with it. Both y'all brothers need to collaborate and write a book together, man. You know what I'm saying? And I would be the first in line to promote it. And I'm proud, man. I'm proud, man. I'm proud, man, because my ego was not involved. I'm not a salesman, man. I'm learning at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's very humbling when a black man comes to the point and understanding what he learned from somebody who know. So I'm not questioning anything. I hear y'all, man, and it's like, damn. If you look at us as black people, I hate to say that point, but if you look at us black people today, man, if anybody contact either one of you guys, man, and say, you know what, I'm going through my own trials and tribulations, and I'm ready to give up, I think y'all have an answer for them, man. I think y'all have an answer for them, not only through your words and wisdom, but through your example. This is the first time in a long time when I really, really, truly, on a personal level, knowing two black men that have answers, man. And I thank y'all for that.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
We putting it on OG status right now, man. Because like I said, I wasn't exaggerating when I said that these men put it in and they're successful at it, because there's more stories like this a lot more. They triple, quadruple the stories that we're fed every day on social media and the news. So
Hey,
I
they
feel
they
great.
bypassed all that, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Stacey, Dion, last words. Then Jaquari, the same thing to you, brother.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and pass my last word to Dion. I mean, I just said exactly what my thoughts were. You know, everything that we have
Uh,
done in life has prepared us for today.
No
Period.
doubt. Hey, stay on for a second once we get off live, man.
yeah.
Just do you
First
know?
of all, Keith, I appreciate you having us on tonight, giving us an opportunity. Y'all guys gave us an opportunity to share our moments and some of our success. Because I don't think we really look at ourselves. It's just that once you get there, you just you moving kind of with the wind. But it's truly a hurdle and a journey that people go through. But I think we take it for granted because we've been doing it for so long. So I appreciate us getting a chance to share with the world. And hopefully more stories to come. Get my book at a store near you.
That's right. That's right.
It's
Hey,
coming.
hey, great, great,
I'm trying to
fantastic
figure out
job
who's
of
gonna play
growth.
me in the movie.
You know, no doubt.
Hey, what's my man name? With the dude used to do big commercials.
Who?
Come on.
Billy D. Oh, too old, cuz he can't play you.
All right, well, look, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. Another fantastic show. Thank y'all for joining us, Dion and Stacey, and to everybody who tuned in and who's in the future, because this is nothing but knowledge today. This is some real OG shit
Straight
today.
up, straight up and
It's
down, right
real.
there, bro.
This is
Yes,
strong.
sir.
This strong
Mhm.
perspective podcast. And y'all have a good night.
All right. Peace and blessings.
Please.
Peace.